Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you have never been here before, my name is Emmaalways and I make videos about minimalism, budgeting, and travel. And today we're going to talk about budgeting and travel combined because we're going to talk about how to get cheap flights. It is no mystery that flights can cost you like as much as a home sometimes. So I am here to give you the tips and tricks that I have acquired through my years of travel on how I get the cheapest flights. The first thing that is the most important that will make or break getting cheap flights is your flexibility. You have to be ultra flexible if you want to get cheap flights. And I don't even mean just like when you're flying, I mean where you're flying, what time of the day you're flying, what airline you're flying. You just have to be really flexible so that you can find the best deal. If you are flexible in the location of where you're going, the best way to find cheap flights is to go onto Google Flights. You just type in your departure city and you can see how much it costs to fly from, say, Seattle to Paris. Or you can look to see how much it costs to fly to Seattle to Adelaide on any given day. So if you're flexible in your flight, you can see where you want to go. You can see that some cities are cheaper than other cities. And if you're not married to the idea of going to one city, you can maybe go to the one that is cheaper. Otherwise, if you're flexible in the dates that you can travel, also use this method because it'll show you all the places you can go on what date and the price. But if you're flexible, then you can avoid the times of the year where tickets are much more expensive. For example, around the holidays and in summer, but especially the holidays, ticket prices go up considerably. So if you are going to find a cheap ticket, then flying home December 22nd is not going to be that day. If you want a cheap ticket, you're going to have to look for off-season times where airlines will give you good deals. If you want to find good deals on flights, you can also use search engines. The ones that I pretty much only use Google Flights now, but I have also used Kayak. I like that. You can use Priceline, Orbitz, Airfare, Watchdog. There's a number of search engines that you can use that will help you find cheap flights from multiple airlines all in one place, which is really nice. Another tip I have to get cheap flights is to fly out of big cities. So if you are trying to go to York, England, which is not the biggest city in England, it is best to fly out of Edinburgh or London because they are the cities with the big airports. It is always more expensive to fly in and out of smaller airports, so if you fly into the big ones, then you're more likely to get a good deal on flights. Also, if you're going to get cheap flights, make sure that you are using incognito windows and tabs and that you are clearing your cookies and your history from your computer before you are buying your flight. If you search the same flight over and over again, airlines use the data from the cookies in your computer to jack up the price because they know that you're thinking about it. So make sure that you are clearing your search engines because you don't want Delta Airlines taking advantage of you more than they already do by making you pay $50 to check a freaking bag and then sometimes providing in-flight entertainment on long flights. Another way to fly on the cheap is to travel hack. And this is when you use points from travel credit cards to book flights and also hotels. I am no travel hacking expert. I have had a travel credit card for a while and I've received nothing free. So this is where I'm going to link below a blog from my friend Matt, and he is a travel hacking expert. They're always going places. So look to his blog and he will tell you how to use credit cards to travel where you want. If you're going to get a travel credit card, sometimes you can sign up and the bonus for signing up is enough for a free flight. So if you're looking for a free flight, maybe sign up for a credit card. Make sure when you're signing up for the credit card though that it is an airline that you will frequently fly. Like for me, living in Seattle, it is most practical for me to have Alaska Airlines because most domestic flights are Alaska, and Alaska Airlines is partners with many international airline carriers that I use frequently. Be careful in the world of credit cards. Having credit can take you down a dangerous path, so make sure that you are paying off your monthly make sure you're paying off your monthly balances always, because if you're not, then it's accruing interest, and then you're paying money on interest, which is money you didn't have to spend if you paid it on time. And if you're paying interest, then there's really no point in getting a free flight because you're paying all this money that is essentially money you didn't have to spend that is going to a bank. So rant over. Just be careful with your credit card if you're gonna get this. I just don't wanna, send people into credit card debt. Urban legend says that if you purchase your tickets on a Tuesday, a Monday, or on a Wednesday, that they will be cheaper than if you are to purchase or search on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know if this is true. I've actually never experienced this being true because I bought my tickets to Paris on a on a Monday, and they were more expensive than they were on Sunday, and I cleared my cookies, so But urban legend says this is true. So, buy during the weekday. Also, fly during the week. Most people fly on the weekend, making it busy and annoying, but also more expensive. So if you're trying to find a cheap ticket, fly out on Tuesdays and Sundays. So I guess this goes back to being flexible with your days, and you're good. Also, another thing, don't buy the budget airline tickets. They are not a bargain. Even though JetBlue says you can fly from Seattle to London for $300, it's only because they're going to charge you in weird random fees and taxes that they don't tell you up front. Sometimes you get to the airport and now you owe more money. So be wary of the very, very, very cheap budget flights because they have so many fees that they end up having the potential to be more expensive. My final suggestion today for getting cheap flights is to split up your flight. So, when I was looking to fly to Australia, it was like $1,400 to fly from Seattle to Adelaide. But if I flew from Seattle to Bali to Adelaide, it was only $900 or $930 or something like that. So, if you split up your flight, you can sometimes find it to be cheaper. So I hope that these tips helped you and that you'll be able to find a cheap flight for wherever your travels are taking you. If you liked this video, please thumbs it up. If you have another tip, comment down below, or if you have questions, also comment those. And I like replying to the comments, so leave me some. This is where I sign off, so bon voyage. Happy travels, and I hope that you find the cheapest tickets that are out there. And sorry to Delta for throwing so much shade at your company today. Just you wronged me once. You wronged. Anyway, bye-bye.